Hello, hello. Let's do a little audio test. Okay, Twitch sounds good. Yeah, how does YouTube sound? YouTube sounds pretty good. Da 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 da. Okay. What are we doing right now? All right. Let's get started. So yesterday night the patch notes dropped. I think somewhere around like 9:15, something like that, PM EST my time. But I didn't really get to check it out until more around like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. But then I immediately went to sleep, so I didn't really get to really go deep into them. So I mainly was looking at what other people were looking at, because for me personally, I only care about Polytheists, right? If this class was nerfed, then I would have concerns and I would start looking at like other ascendancies. But our class did get buffed. Now, it's gonna type start. Now, the crazy thing, in my opinion, is I think the way they went about buffing this character is, it seems like GGG like knows about our build. Like this build, you know, it like I didn't expect this thing to be like this popular, because I'm just like a small creator, but this thing almost has 30k views now. This is what I created for Keepers of the Flame, and it took off like pretty well. And some of the changes to Polytheist is straight up like for our build. So let's look at Polytheist, and let's look at some of the changes that are coming to it, and then we will get into our PoB. We will try to make modifications to our build based on some of the updates, etc., etc. So is this like a good version? Let me take a look. Yeah, we could pull this up. There's like a good little picture right here that that'll help us sort of see the tree a little bit easier. So this is what it was last league without the patch. And the way we played this build was pretty much we took Devout of Ralakesh and we took Devout of Lunaris. Now, just taking these two pretty much was it. You know, the others weren't really doing anything for us. We ended up in last Phrecia league, we ended up just taking like Garukans because it's like immune to burning ground, shock ground, chill ground, which is, you know, which is just like a nice quality of life. And then we took nearby enemies are blind, which is again a little bit nice quality of life. And then also we have 100% crit chance against blinded enemies, which is like pretty good damage. Now, this burning hoof prints, I remember very, very clearly. I probably have it somewhere in my live stream when I did Phrecia. I actually didn't stream Phrecia that much. That was one of the things. I mainly played it like off stream. Where is it? Hold up. Oh, here it is. I don't know. For some reason, I didn't see it. I would say, yeah, yeah. So right around here, let's see if I can find it. I think I have it on. You see it? You see it? So this is burning hoof prints, right? You can see as I'm running. This is what it creates. So you just run through it. Look at that. It does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. So this burning hoof prints, what they're doing is where is it? So they are making it so that it deals 100% more damage. So basically double damage. And even with double damage, this thing is useless. Like this thing is completely useless. The only thing is unaffected. Why is it lagging? Unaffected by ignite is the one thing to look out for, because unaffected by ignite is actually pretty solid. Like this is actually pretty solid. You could do a bunch of different builds with this, but we're not going in that direction. Now so previously, just to kind of like sum that up, like we pretty much only take Devout of Lunaris and then we path it through Devout of Ralakesh because it gives us like good damage. Now what's good about this build is you know, we get 3 frenzy charges, which are very, very premium, especially towards the end game version of the build. A lot of cast speed is really, really strong. And then Devout of Lunaris, the reason why this is strong, we don't really care about Nova spells, but fire 2 additional projectiles. This is a damage multiplier for our build. It just is going to do straight up more damage based on how many projectiles are fired. And there's like an item in the game that gives you projectiles. And in Legacy of Phrecia, once you stack all these projectiles like GMP, and then if you get to Awaken GMP, you are firing so many projectiles. It looks ridiculous, and it's super satisfying gameplay. It's super fun. So those are two things that we used to take. So let's talk about what is changing. So one of the things that's changing is light radius is changed to 5%, and global defense is changed to 10%. So these are the small nodes. This is kind of like whatever. This is honestly this kind of whatever. Even like late game, this is kind of whatever, right? 10% global defense. We don't invest too much into energy shield. Energy shield is like a little bit of like a side little piece that's just there. It's okay. It is what it is. Then we have Solaris, 10% reduced damage taken from blinded enemies. So previously, let me see if I could find someone on Reddit made a updated chart. Let's see if I could find it. See if I can find it. Oh yeah. This guy has it. Okay, yeah. So this is the updated version. This guy wait, hold up. What's the wrong one? Yeah, this guy on Reddit, what's his username? We'll give him credit. Hobo Dude Guy. Like this guy, oh my god. Like what is his name? Hobo Dude Guy made this visual change so that we could take a look at. So this is the new change that is coming with the patch notes. So let's get rid of all the bad stuff out of the way. So Aberrath, we talked about it. I kind of showed you like a clip. This is horrible. Like we don't really care. We'll deal with Ignite some other way. It's also just like a small quality of life change. Devout to Gruthkul. This is also horrible. They made it so if enemies hit you, reduce attack speed, but the problem is spell skills deal no damage. Now I thought this might potentially work with our build, but the reason it doesn't is because casting the totem itself is a spell skill. I was thinking because the totems are casting, potentially this wouldn't affect us because totem is doing the damage, but this does affect us and we can't use it. At least that's how it worked last Phrecia League. So this is going to be a dead point. Okay. So now let's look at some of the changes that we are already going to pick. So we're taking Devout of Ralakesh. We're getting Corrupted Blood cannot be inflicted on you. This is really, really good to deal with bleeds because, we don't really have a good way to deal with Corrupted Blood. The only way to do that is to put like a jewel, and those jewels get expensive, and then you get like random stats, right? Like you have to like do this yourself on like a rare jewel or like one of the unique jewels. Kind of difficult, so this is nice little quality of life. Spell skills have 30% increased area of effect. This doesn't really do anything for us, but if you were playing the what's it called, the ball, I forgot I think it's called Ice Nova. I think if you're playing Ice Nova, this could be nice. Area of effect. This does say Nova spells cast at the targeted location instead of around you. But I don't think this matters because you would use totems technically with the Ice Nova build as well. But the spell effect doesn't matter for our build. Then the biggest change they are doing is to Yugle. They're saying unaffected by curses. Now this thing is actually a massive change, and the reason for this is because Soul Mantle, right? Our premium item that we are going to be using for our totem build is Soul Mantle, and one of the downsides of Soul Mantle is whenever your totem dies, it puts a random hex on you. So whenever we make this build, we have to deal with curses. Hey, what's up, Zad Rot Player? What a name. Welcome to the Twitch chat. So yeah, so unaffected by curses is like, this is why I think GGG has like watched our video or watched how our build works, etc. Because unaffected by curses is exactly what we need. If it said like curse immune, right? You know how like some of these things say immune, immune, immune. It's saying unaffected by curses, which is really, really good because we have something called self-flagellation. And what self-flagellation does is, based on how many curses are applied to you, you get increased damage. And this is a very cheap and common jewel. So you could get 20% damage per curse, and we could stack up to like 8 or 9 curses like pretty easily. And if we were immune to the curse, those curses won't be applied. Since we are unaffected by curse, we don't take any of the downsides of the curses, and we get the curse on us, and it procs our self-flagellation. So we get like anywhere from 80 to 160% damage uptime with just this jewel and this ascendancy combo. It's really, really strong. Let's see what else. So the other thing that is being changed is Garukan, which is getting unaffected by shock. Now this is pretty crazy as well, because this is basically taking care of like all of like the bad stuff that are on maps, right? Like all the degen grounds, all the status effect grounds. They're very annoying to deal with. Also, you're getting some mana regen, you're getting some life regen, which is like, you know, I like to run a lot of regen myself, so this is pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's like anything life changing or build changing, but it's pretty nice quality of life, unaffected by shock. Gives us more tank basically. Gives us more survivability in maps. So this is what I'm looking to take as my, you know, 3rd and 4th ascendancies. Yes, good ascendancy, flat charge, plus 10 max melding, and 30% more attack. Yeah, so yeah, that was like the next thing I was going to talk about is, okay, so we have this potential like freebie. I think during like league start, etc., we're just going to take Yugle and Garukan, and that's going to be our 3rd and 4th point, just to, you know, make our life easier. We don't have to think too much. This is going to be good for like the budget version. But we have multiple ways to deal with unaffected by curses, especially at the end game. So we don't actually need this ascendancy point that much. It is good quality of life. What we can go for is Brine King. So with Brine King, we get 10% maximum to cold resistant. And, this guy in Tusha pointed out as well, we can use melding. Now, there's multiple ways we can get the maximum cold resist even higher via, now that we have like new rings, we have like jewels, we have Eldritch currency. So there's a couple of ways that I'm thinking of utilizing plus the maximum cold res to pretty much try to get somewhere around like 85 to 90% all res. And this would make our build incredibly tanky to elemental hits. And this could be a very like tanky version of the build. Now, Roslata's is good, 30% more maximum attack damage, but, our build is not attack. So this is kind of a dead stat to us. Not that it's kind of a dead stat. It pretty much is a dead stat. Like, all you're getting is, enemies hit recently have 100% reduced life regen. This is kind of like whatever. So this stat doesn't really do anything, and we can't go this way because spells disabled, like this bricks our build. So we have to go this way. So that's something that we will POB. And I think that's pretty much it for all the changes. I didn't talk about this, Devato Solaris, 10% reduced damage taken from blighted enemies. It's like a little like little piece of the cake, doesn't really give us that much of a punch for an ascendancy point. It's nice, but I don't think we're gonna path our way over here for our 4th point. I think Yugal is very strong and Garukan is very strong, especially early on in the league. For the first couple of days, it makes your character just generically strong without having to invest too much. Okay, so let's get into the PUB of things. So I'm just gonna take my old, or I should say, for my PUB from. I'm gonna take my PUB from Keepers of the Flame for my video, and then we're gonna work on our PUB a little bit. You don't think this is going to be a good ascendancy start early? So I league started it last league and we were completely fine. I think we were, yeah, like I'll showcase you through, PUB, etc. And then towards the end game, it's giga blasting. So yeah, let's get started. Import build. Okay, so we have to do a little bit of finessing. Let's see if I could just continue to use this. Am I gonna have to go through each one and change them? Because that'll kind of suck. Oh, the loadout is not showing. Let me just check. Got here. I wonder why loadouts are not showing. Oh, maybe Maybe I have to like convert all trees, but let me just convert all trees real quick. Okay, and now they show up. The problem is we have to convert them back to 2.26. So I did a test run on stream yesterday, and we got about like 6 hours and 13 minutes or something like that with holy flame totems. It was pretty fun. It was pretty smooth. Didn't have like any issues. Hold on. There we go. Act 1. How would I go about changing this? I'm just trying to think about how I would update my POB to kind of just showcase. I'll just go, honestly, I'll just go through one by one. So I'm just gonna hit convert. Let's see what this does. Okay. So we have all our ascendancies. Act 1, it should look like this. Okay, we go to Act 2. Convert to 3.26 alternate. Act 3. Convert to 3.26 alternate. Hopefully I'm doing the right one. Okay, yeah, we have it. Act 4. In this time, I have only one idea. It's Herald of Agony. Only Ascendancy gives you big damage, and you can focus defense on gear and skill tree. It's good for my playstyle. I play on hardcore. I see. Okay, yeah. If you're a hardcore player, yeah, that makes sense. This, I would not recommend this for hardcore. So around Act 4, you end up taking your first ascendancy point. You could take it at the very beginning of Act 4 when you hit aqueducts, or you could do it towards the end of Act 3, whatever your preference is. I'll kind of talk more about that. And you actually want to take Devout of Ralakesh. That'll be your first point. Oh, okay. So it's gonna give us a sizable damage increase, like 15%. Pretty good. We're gonna get some tank. We're gonna get some frenzy charges, etc. So that looks pretty good for Act 4. Let's go to Act 5. 3.26 alternates. It's gonna make sure this is changed. Act 6. Was it Act 6 or Act 7? I think it was Act 7 when we take our second ascendancy point. I'm pretty sure. So let's go to Act 7. Oh, whoops. So in Act 7, we would be taking Devout of Lunaris, and this is going to give us quite a bit of damage. Herald of Agony of Herald Ascendancy. Nice. So yeah, spells fire 2 additional projectiles. So it's going to give us... yeah, 2 additional projectiles. Pretty decent. Let's see. Go to Act 8. I just gotta set this up properly, and then we can kind of go into all the changes. Act 9. Okay, and then Act 10 is when we will get our third point. And the third point we want to get is Devout of Yugal 100%, because we most likely, we're going to be playing this in trade, right? So we're going to try to get a soul mantle. It should be very cheap, anywhere from like 4 to 5 chaos early on. And then day 2, it's probably going to be like 1 chaos. If not like 2 chaos. So that's Act 10. And then early mapping progression. Let's change that as well. It doesn't really matter which way you take. So early mapping progression, I'll still say your 3 ascendancy points. Mid game, you should have all your points at this point. And we're gonna go with Devout of Garukan. Now, in this version of the end game, we will still go Devout of Garukan. I'll create a new PoB. Let's see if I have time, and then we'll work out like melding, etc. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Let's change our notes. So the notes section is going to tell you how to level in the campaign, etc. What to do in Act 1, the regex to use, and then if you want to speed run, you could use leap slam momentum. I'll probably make a video to summarize this all, but we're gonna have the same league start. We're just gonna stick to totems from the early on just to be thematic. This is not the absolute fastest way to level in the campaign, but we are, we just want to have fun, so we're gonna do this. Now, yeah, so early mapping, you can easily get to red maps with just a 4-link, some random SSF gears. Yeah, so also use breach tree to farm for boots. I would say rare boots and helm. They're like the easiest to farm. Boots is priority number 1 because you could get like a really good res and high life with some movement speed. Once you get those, you're set for like majority of the game. Helm is nice as well. Same thing. Just get a bunch of life, res. It's all you need. Breach tree is going to be really, really strong. Okay, so now here we are probably not going to need Kikuzaru. Is there a way I could like cross this out? What should I do? I'll just say don't need this item. Cause like the number ordering is I'll just remove it. I'll change the number ordering to 3. Self-flagellation is good. Anathema is gonna be good. Rare items. We could do or wand. Wand is really good as well. I think gamble for wand early, yeah. Which main skill will you be using? So I'll be using Freezing Pulse and Ice Spear Totems. So right here, you could see on the left-hand side, anathemas. I think after that, pretty much everything is the same. That's like the only change. We don't really have to do Kikuzaru's. We don't need to change. Okay, yeah, now we're gonna start getting rid of Kikuzaru, the curse of. Okay, yeah, we could change this. Yeah. Change jewels. We actually don't need any of this curse effect stuff. So we can remove this. I just want to write like... I mean, I'll cover it in the video, but yeah. Let me just remove all the curse stuff that you don't need. Most likely for jewels, you would just go for just damage and resistance. Most likely, amulet +1/+1, whatever you could find. Anoint, heat shiver. Okay, so I could change this up. Coward's Legacy, Rain of Splinters. So Rain of Splinters gives us projectile dying sun. So Sublime Vision, technically we would not be using it in this version of the build. Because we are already immune, so we don't really need to take that one. So it could be very inexpensive early on. Watcher Sire would be kind of expensive. Awaken. Yeah, Awaken GMP is like probably last. Okay, let's look at how our tree looks. Let's see how our early mapping looks like. So we have to change all this. Kind of annoying, actually. Change our skills to early mapping. Okay, so we got like 1.3 mil. So we're only using 3. I think our totem limit should be 4. Let's check. Yeah, our totem limit is 4. So we're going to have a little bit of a less damage here. So minus. So yeah. So we're going to only have 4 totems. But they fire more projectiles. Let's take a look. See, is this being accounted for? Yes, it is. So yeah, early on, we're just going to have a little bit of less damage because our totems are going to be capped out at 4. So this is like a big hit until... There are multiple things we can do. There are multiple things we could do to get like +1 totems. We can either try to get... We can either try to get... we wouldn't do this early game though. I think this is fine. Like, yeah, 1 million DPS compared to 1.3 million, it's fine. Like, early game, I think everything is going to be fine. The other thing is we actually don't need to take these because to get extra, like, 8 points to spend somewhere else. The reason why we don't need these is because is because we're curse immune or unaffected by curses thanks to Yugal. So we don't need to spend any points in curse effect reduction. So that's really nice. Let's look at my items real quick. So I'm using Kikazaru. So I don't need to use Kikazaru either. Although Kikazaru is pretty good. What could we put here instead of Kikazaru? So instead of Kikazaru, I'm just gonna say rare ring for now. Just like, let's just... Yeah, something. Oh, okay. Yeah, something like this. Obviously, this is like, you know, this is like a cracked version of a ring. But yeah, just something to like fix your life resistance, whatnot. Our damage actually dropped off. What is Kikazaru giving? I don't know why our damage dropped off because we switched Kikazaru. Okay, never mind. I guess whatever. Oh, early on, we're also gonna take Alira. For some reason, we're not like res capped. Definitely. Do I just like... Okay, let's... Do I just quickly craft all this stuff, man? Like... Let's just quickly craft these gloves. Just so that we can get some res lightning. Res. Need some dex. Should be good. Fire res. Add to the build. Hopefully that's good enough. That way it doesn't like look terrible. Okay, we have too much fire res going on. What is this? Boots? Okay, let's remove boots. Yeah, usually two-tone boots are pretty good. Yeah, let's do two-tone boots. Just gonna add movement speed. Oh, just gonna add like the lightning res, cold res. Should be good. Just so that it looks nice, but it's like... Okay, yeah, there we go. We capped out, we're over capped. There you go. It fixes most of our things. We need to get like way more life, etc. But I'm just gonna put on like rags gears, you know, just whatever we can fit type deal. Just cold snap for link. Yep. For totems, perfect. Okay. This looks good. Tree looks good. Okay, yeah, I think one thing we do have to get is we do have to get +1 maximum power charge. Well, actually, we don't actually need this because we could only have 3 curses at the moment, so this is fine. Yeah, we have some extra points, but honestly, I'll just leave it off. Like, it's whatever. We'll fix that for the mid progression. Let's go to the mid progression. Items, mid progression, skills, mid progression. Okay, so mid game, same thing. We have to drop down one of these. I actually don't know how much. Wait, hold on. Give me a second. Let me create a new instance of PoB so that I could also look at it. This is this the one? Oh no, this is my hold on, give me a second. Let me just create another PoB. So we could compare what our DPS would look like in Phrecia. I'm just gonna convert all. Okay, so this is my. Let's see, mid game. Okay, so in mid game we have 9.9 DPS on the base game, right? Nothing changed. And then in Phrecia we are around 7.3. So we are like somewhat like 2 mil. Yeah, I don't know why it moved over here, but yeah, we're like 2 mil less DPS, which is fine. Yeah, which is fine. But we get a bunch of different quality of life. We don't need to do any of the curse stuff, which is actually, yeah, we don't need any of this. So let's check the tree. Removed all the curse stuff. Onslaught. Okay, so previously we were getting Sleepless Sentry and Ancestral Echo. Now I think we need to do a change. Because how do I check this? Medium cluster. Check a medium cluster. How do I check the cluster nodes? These are implicit. How do I check what these are? Ancestral Echo. Maybe if I just look at because there's one medium passive cluster that I think we need to have. Why is this lagging? Dude, PoB deep ancestral echo. Maybe I search for this. The site is so laggy. Okay, here we go. Special passive. Okay, here we go. If I type totem. Okay, yeah, here we go. This is exactly what I was looking for. Is this going to give me a preview? All right, yeah. So Ancestral Echo and Sleepless Sentries was the ones we were going for. So Sleepless Sentries gives us Onslaught, which just gives a ton of cast speed, so we have to take this. We were taking Ancestral Echo because it gave us 10% cast speed, which is nice, but there's another one which gives us Arcane Surge, I believe. Yeah. So this thing right here gives us Arcane Surge when you summon a totem, which gives us 20% cast speed and 30% increased mana regen. So previously with our ascendancy, let me just show you guys. So previously with our ascendancy, we had, gain our Arcane Surge whenever our totems hit, and this gave us the cast speed. But now, since we are playing Polytheist and we don't have the base ascendancy, we're gonna need this. Now the other downside is you don't get 20% more spell damage, which kind of really sucks. But it's okay. We could also scale our Arcane Surge effect, which will give us more cast speed, etc. So like these nodes are going to be pretty premium, and I think that's a change we have to make. So we have to take Ancestral Inspiration, and this one is gain Arcane Surge when you summon a totem. I mean, we're constantly summoning totems, so this should be fine. But that's the change we're gonna have to make. So let's see where our cluster jewel is. Where's our medium cluster? Okay, so we have craft item. We're gonna go to medium cluster jewel. Yep. We're gonna go for ancestral. Oh right, we have to go to totem. Change to totem. Ancestral echo. And it is what? Ancestral guidance? No. Oh, inspiration. So we need to get these two instead. I guess like the perfect stat would be like Dex, and like perfect suffix would be Dex and like all res or something like that. It's fine. We're just gonna use this. Wait, how much did our damage change? Wait, hold up. That's a good little check as well. Okay, so it's showing that we lost damage, but the thing is, we don't have in our calc that we are taking. Okay. Hold on. Let me do this correctly, because I put in 6 passes instead of 5 or 4. So let me just oh, sorry, it's actually called Ancestral Inspiration. It should be called like Sleepless, right? Sleepless Centuries. Yeah, Sleepless Centuries is the correct one. Make sure I change this to like 4 or 5. Doesn't matter. Okay, add to the build. Okay, so the reason our DPS went down is because we have to configure it. So do you have, or we could, where is it? Totem spawned or something? Oh, this is, why isn't it showing, have you summoned a totem recently? Huh? It should just show up here, but it's not showing up here. Oh, on mid game, right? Yeah, mid game. Tree is on mid game. Config. Technically, this would be on Alira. Why is it showing like summon totem? Oh wait. Oh, it's because it's not active. Oh my god. That's why. There it is. Okay, so it's already calculating. 7.1. Okay. Onslaught if you summon totem, and then gain arcane surge when you summon totem. Let me just see if this works. Okay, yeah, perfect. I don't know if this is working correctly, because this is, it should just, maybe it's just calculating on its own. I think it's calculating on its own. I think it should be fine. But yeah, this is giving us like 13% damage here. This is giving us 7.5% damage. It's pretty big. The other thing is, yeah, we wouldn't be using these reduced curse effects. We could use, like, we could use some damage ones instead, or res ones. Well, what's our item here? We're using Annihilating Light. So we got a ton of res. We're using a regular Abyss belt to give us more res. Bunch of different res. Okay, so we're using 3 jewel sockets to reduce our curse effect, but we wouldn't need to do this. Instead, what we can do is, I guess Cobalt is fine. Could get like There's so many options that you can do. You could guess cast speed. You could get just flat damage. I think cast speed is probably the way to go. Cast speed. We'll keep it at like 4 just to keep it like average, and then maybe like crit multi. I think like 2 or 3 stats is doable. Like if you get like totem damage or something, not a lot of people like will be utilizing this. So I think 3 stats for mid progression should be okay. Definitely have to refer to this, right? Any resistance you need, any damage mod. So like crit multi with elemental, cold or spell, or just global crit multi. That'll be like the ideal. Spell damage. I actually didn't put cast speed. Cast speed with cold skills. Did I add it? I did add it. Okay. Can I see cast speed again? Cast speed while holding a staff. Okay. Just gonna add that to my notes. Holding staff. So cast speed would be premium. Crit multi would be premium. Okay, that should be good. So then, if we remove the reduce effect ones, boom. Reduce effect. Reduce effect. Boom. So yeah, so now the damage is becoming more comparable, right? So we had like 9 million DPS and now it's like 8.4. Because we don't have to invest in curse reduction. So like, you know, it helps us out with our quality of life. The other thing we also get is like we can also change our like minor god. We don't need to run Abarath. We could run like whatever we want here. We're also gonna get like unaffected by shock, so we don't need to use Garu Khan here. I guess you could do like Soul of Shikari or something like that, like reduce chaos damage. Could also change Fizz. Phase reduction for how long you've been stationary. Tukahoma, this could actually be really good on our tanky version of the build because we try not to move too much in the tanky version because we have like a really high block. But I'm like a ADHD player. I gotta like move. Change to Shikari. And then we would still use Brine King for avoid being frozen until we decide to go for like a melding version. So that's pretty much what I would do there. What else would I change? Let me just look through each item. So Annihilating Light is good. Helmet, we would just put a rare helmet. We would try to get like a corrupted 6-link soul mantle. Gloves. We could try to, yeah, we'll try to get chilled. Increased damage against chilled. Exposure. We're not really putting any implicits here. We're just kind of putting random implicits. That's fine. Boots, just resistance. Amulet, yeah, try to get some cat speed, +1, multi, anathemas is good. Oh yeah, we're not also activating any of our flasks. This would definitely increase our damage. Let me just check if I had flask enabled in the other one. Okay, I don't. Actually, this would be doing quite a bit more. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Actually, the other thing I actually forgot. We have frenzy charge, don't we? Okay, it's calculating it. I think it's calculating it. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, it's calculating it. Anything else we might have to change here? This looks good. This looks good. Technically, this is not doing anything, but I guess I should remove this. Let me look at my skills. What am I doing here? Yeah, I have these disabled. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this pain attunement out. There's like a tech that I'm doing. This is like, yeah, this is like really, if you know what you're doing and you need it for bossing, what you can do is you could turn on Herald of Ice and Arrogance. If you turn these on, you get a little bit of damage, but it also gives you low life, which then gives you a ton of damage, but it like tanks your EHP. So I have it disabled here. I think I talk about how it's like an optional thing you can do. Okay. Our curses look good. Oh. What? Why would turning this on reduce our DPS? Oh. Wait. Let me just look at our build real quick. Okay, I guess it's not calculating punishment either. Yeah, because we do a... So the way punishment works is... Enemies take like more damage on low life, which I believe low life is under 50% in PoE 1. But in like PoE 2, there's like a threshold. It doesn't like, yeah, it doesn't like fully reflect, but yeah. Okay, so the reason why in the Polytheist, when I turn this on, it reduces our DPS is because this is actually where we need to get +1 maximum power charge. And now when we have this enabled, you could see it does like nothing, but technically when you put this config on, it's enemy on low life, it's going to do a lot more damage. So, yeah. That's the important distinction I need to make, is I got to talk about maximum power charge. We just need to get one. It's like a very important thing. Talk. I'm just gonna write this down. Talk. Oh my god. I just gotta remember to talk about those, so I'm just gonna write that in the chat so I could want to make the video. I guess let me just open up a notepad. Things to mention: medium, cluster, jewel, change, curse changes, curse, max power charge. Yeah, so those are. What else did we need to mention? Go ahead, save. Actually, save. I'm just gonna call it Ice Bear. Phrecia. Oh yeah. Curse effect jewel changes. I guess that kind of goes in with curse effect changes. Yeah, ascendancy change, I guess. Cool. Okay, I think maybe we could just move on to the endgame version. So, yeah, let's just go to the endgame change. Let's see. Endgame. Skills, endgame. So it's not bad. We're still at like 100 mil. What do I... How much are we getting in this one? 200 mil? Okay, wait, hold up. We're technically going down one, too. So for endgame, what we were using was this prismatic jewel or sublime vision, and the reason for this was so we get unaffected by curses to deal with curses, but we don't need to do this because our ascendancy point will now give us unaffected by curses, which is devout to Yugal. And so we could replace this jewel for sure. Everything else looks good. Or maybe we still have to use it, but then we could try to get like, nah, we wouldn't. Not on this version. I think like the tanky version we can do it, but for this version, it's calculating this, right? I feel like there's something off. I just have to figure out what's off. Give me a second. Uh We wouldn't need any of these reduced curse effects. What can we change this to actually? We could change this to like reduce crit. Shock, we don't have to worry about shock either. Config, this is Phrecia, right? Help Alira. Technically, it would still use Brine King here. And then maybe... like Shikari or something like that. I'm just surprised this is not working. Let me just go through the items. So we have Annihilating Light, looks good. Heat Shiver looks good. Heat Shiver looks good. Soul Mantle looks good. It's just +2. Increase effect of marks. Unnerved, this looks good. This looks good. This looks good as well. This looks good. Anathemas looks good. Coward's Legacy. Are we on low life? We are, okay. Militant Fate looks good. Double damage, double crit multi. Medium cluster, large cluster. Prismatic jewel. So the only thing is, I guess we could like swap this out. Wait, let me just check the cast speed. Cast speed. It's kind of okay. Well, what the hell? Cast speed. Crit. Multi. Crit. Multi. Let's add this to the build. We technically go for this. Yeah. It's about like a little bit more damage, to be honest. It's not even like that much more damage. Okay, let's just replace Sublime Vision. So we don't need to use Sublime Vision. We would have Rain Splinters. We would have this. What's our skills? Awaken GMP. So I'm thinking if we are not gonna use if we're not gonna use Sublime Vision, maybe we need to get like one of these, like Pursuit of Fate or Arcane Blessing. Oh, I know why the DPS is low. It's because we don't have a... There we go. Okay, power charge. We need the maximum power charge because it's not calculating all our curses. Yep, it was doing the punishment thing. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. We get to like 160 mil there. I knew I was like missing something. The other thing is we have to change this. Sleepless Sentries, and do we have the other... do we have the other cluster jewel? Yeah, ancestral inspiration. Let's say so. We have 117 mil here. Okay, 127 mil. Okay, there we go. It's a 10 mil DPS increase there. The reason for this is, you know, we get the arcane surge. What else are we missing? Okay, yeah. So what was it called again? Pursuit of Fate. Okay, let's see. Because, yeah, if we could get one more, how much damage increases that? It's like 22 million DPS increase. That'll take up 2 slots though. So if we go to items, what is it called? Forbidden Flame. Pursuit of Fate. Forbidden Flame. Forbidden Flesh. Pursuit of Fate. Add to the build. Okay, so instead of using Sublime Vision, we use Forbidden Flame. So our DPS goes down. So I think it was like 127, right? We take this off. Forbidden Flesh. So we're at 109. But now this allows us to get +1 skill. So we go from 127 mil to 136. So this is, it's like almost 137. So let's just say 10 million DPS. Is that worth? It could be potentially. I don't know. Why do we have extra points here? What's going on? Oh, this is actually pretty good. Increase effect of your curses. Why do I have these points? Okay. Just gonna remove those. Crit multi. Warning. Dexterity. Oh, is that why I had okay, we're just gonna put I'm just gonna put this here. We definitely need like dexterity somewhere. What was it? Actually, this would be better. Where's Sniper's Mark? We're just gonna down level it. There we go. Okay. I feel for now, like this is pretty good. For now, I think I'm happy with this for now. We could spend some, I'll take a look at it like more in detail before I post the video. And then, you know, we could do some more tweaks. But for now, I think this is good. I have like another PoB I want to look at. That's why. So we're just going to save this for now for Phrecia. 132 mil DPS, pretty good. We could do like a bunch of boss carries, etc. And then if I could like optimize it a little more, you'll see that version in the video I'll post later tonight, hopefully. But everything else looks fine. Okay. Where is it? Ice Spear, Legacy of Phrecia. So I had another one. Let's go back here. Yeah, don't save. I had a 78% block. So I really like this version. I'm gonna do copy new. So this build, I really like this particular version of the Ice Spear because we were reaching 78% spell block, and with 78% spell block and like 35k HP, this build felt really smooth. Like really smooth, and especially like in bossing and stuff like that. Um we were like taking almost like we were like never dying, which is like a big plus. Okay, so let me see. And 42 million DPS is like more than enough. And then yeah, we don't even have flasks on. Do we have configs on? Okay, now the other thing about this build is I think I was using a focus amulet which had minimum frenzy charge, but like yeah, our ascendancy already gives us 3 minimum frenzy. So let's just first convert this. So it's 42 mil right now. Let me just convert this to Phrecia. So it goes down to 18 mil. Oh, we would need +1 power charge. There we go, 25 mil. What else would I change here? Cluster jewel. Change, what was it? Sleepless. Totem. Sleepless sentries. What was it? Ancestral inspiration. What else did I have on here? I'm just gonna copy it. I just had dexterity. Okay, let's just put dexterity. It was at 5 dexterity. It's a tier 2 affix. That should be good. Add to the build. Oh god, I put 6 passives, didn't I? Oh, that's so annoying. Why can't it default to 5, man? Sleepless, ancestral inspiration, dexterity 5. Add to the build. Okay, there we go. 28. Wait, I'm also using Sublime Vision, right? So technically we would take out Sublime Vision here. We would also take out Reduce Curse Effect on this. Okay, let's craft a Cobalt Jewel. So let me actually just do crit multi and then crit multi. Okay, so just crit multi alone. Okay, we're not going to get a good idea with this. Let me just create a random jewel socket. just so I could like do a comparison of how much damage it gives us. So socket number 5. Hold on. This thing's so annoying. Do we have socket number 5 here? Yeah, socket number 5. So 8% DPS. I'm just gonna put like damage, right? 16%. So in socket number 5, this is giving 3 million DPS, 10%. Okay, let's change the cast speed. So cast speed and flat damage is pretty much the same. That's all I was really trying to check for. So it doesn't really matter. I'll just do like a little hybrid, so like if people do want to try it out. Add to the build tree. Let's remove all this. So technically, yeah, we would change this, add this, gives like a mil damage. Sublime Vision, we would take it out. And it gives us like 31. Okay. This is not, yeah, like this is pretty good. Is there anything else we can do with this? Because technically I'm going like the recovery route and we don't really have to do this. I'm also going like totem resistance and things like that, just so I could get more survivability for tier 17. So this setup is what I use to do tier 17 maps, and it seems like this will be fine. So we get like immune to burning ground, shock ground, chill ground, immune to shock, life regen, and like immune to curses, which is pretty big. .8% per point. That's kind of crazy, actually. How much is this? 3.6 per point. This is 31.9. Needs one more level though. Yeah, this version of the build is really nice because it's like more tanky. Like it's a lot more tankier because you have block. You have like 78% block, and this thing is good enough to do a bunch of like bossing mechanics without having to like think too much. You could just like block. I'll keep this as like science version, etc. It's a little less DPS though. Oh, also the thing about it being less DPS, I'm pretty sure I'm using returning projectiles, which is like not supported in PoB. You have to like add like more damage. So it's technically this is doing a lot more damage than what it's saying. So it's saying returning projectile deals 65% less damage. So it's doing like 35% more damage. Like, because once you hit a target, it returns back and it deals 65% less damage, which is technically like 35% more damage, because this skill is not supported in Path of Building. So it doesn't know how to calculate that. Oh, actually, technically, yeah, this is 25 mil. Damn. I mean, this, yeah. We're still getting like a ton of damage, but we're like going more towards the survivability route. It's like kind of like in between for that survivability. Mm. Okay, let's see if we could go. Let's just save this one. Save as Phrecia block spell block version. I just want to see what we can do with like melding. I don't know if melding is supported, because every time I've tried to use melding, it like does some weird things. So if we go Brine King, this gives us 10% to maximum cold, which is pretty massive. Now, I feel like we're gonna have to like rip out a lot of our gear, but let's just keep this for now. We would have to bring back our Sublime Vision. And the reason why we have to bring back Sublime Vision is unaffected by curses, right? Since we're removing this, so we're gonna go more for maximum cold res, and then we would also have to drop this jewel for our melding. So let's put up melding, and then we try to get the lowest roll possible. I'm gonna for now I'm just gonna use it perfect melding, just cause it makes my life easier at the moment, but you know, we could tweak it later. So this jewel, we would have to drop it for a melding. And now our gear, we would have to change this. So we have ruby ring. So instead of ruby ring, we would use this, what's it called? Like cryonic ring. Ring. Is it even supported? Okay, yeah, there's the cryonic ring. So the reason why we use cryonic ring is because it gives us +2 to maximum cold resist on the ring. It's an implicit, and it says can only roll like cold modifiers. So the main thing we just need is just like cold resist, right? And then I guess like dexterity is like the only other thing. What other suffixes can it roll? It could actually roll cold damage. It could roll cast speed. It's kind of big actually. Let's just throw on cast speed like mid roll and then we just try to get like a life, mana, energy shield. We're just gonna put mid rolls for all of those, but we're gonna have like our coal res like pretty high, dexterity kind of mid, everything else like just mid. So we swap this with this. See, I don't know, like melding, like I don't know what's wrong with it, but melding just straight up doesn't work in PoB. Like elemental resistance are capped by your highest. So it should just have everything as like fire resistance should be like 50, lightning resistance should be 50, but it's like not doing it. I don't know why. So then also what we need to change. Wait, how do we get that much cold resist? If he's a cryonic ring. Oh, our large cluster jewel. That's gonna be hard actually. Oh yeah, no. We could get rid of attributes. Or should we do lightning? Does that even make sense? Can we? Oh, man, wait. Let me just do save as Phrecia spell block melding. I need to like open like a new one. Just do like Hyro, just default Hyro stuff, like something like this. Okay, whatever, that's fine. I just want to I just want to test melding because I have no idea why this thing like doesn't work. All right, so we have I don't know if it's like, do I need like a fresh PoB to like make it work or what, but this thing like never works. So let's just do like body armor. Okay, just gonna put cold resistance. Yeah, like I don't know why melding doesn't work in PoB. It's just not doing it. I guess a ring would be like the fastest way to sapphire ring, yeah. Cold res implicit. Yeah, so I genuinely don't know why it doesn't work. Because it should all be 71 across the board. Let me just check PoE Ninja. I'm gonna pull up PoE Ninja just to Someone using like a melding build. Okay, let's see if this works. I'm just pulling up an example to see. Okay, so it works here. I don't know why. Is there like a melding calc setting or something? Let's look at this guy's gear. Yeah, cold resist, cold resist, cold resist. Yeah, so all he's doing is building cold resist. He has lightning resist here, but wait, is he using sapphire flask? He's using topaz. Oh, so I think he's going all topaz. Because this is how he's increasing max res. Grant purity of lightning skill. Yeah, see, everything goes down without it. As soon as you enable it, that's how. So he's getting it through lightning res. So let's look at his calcs for lightning res. Where's lightning res? Yeah. He's got 9 from his flask. He's got 8 from purity of lightning. He's got 1 from this crown helmet. And he's got 1 from this passive. Is that even equal? Yeah, he's basically got 20, or sorry, 10, 19. He's got 19, which puts him at 94, but then he has a perfect melding, so that puts it at 90. Because melding does like minus. But I don't know why it doesn't work when I do it. Let's go back to my PoE. Let's go to calc. Why isn't this overriding though? Is there like a melding setting? It's never in combat though. You're not doing anything in combat. For some reason, it's just not working for me. So it says override 83 cold resist. What does it say for his? Override 90. But his is actually overriding, but mine isn't. I don't know why. It's kind of hard, but let's just see if it's even possible real quick. So we were gonna go cryonic ring +2, helmets. My only concern is, can I even reach? Oh yeah, I can. It's the large cluster jewel. So currently, what do I have? I have +3 attributes. I don't need +3 attributes because I'm gonna have dexterity. So we got that on our ring. Go for cold res. Try to get as much cold res as possible. To be honest, we don't even need that much, but yeah, I'll just pick that for now. Cast speed. Cold. Cast speed. What else did I have on my large cluster? I just need increased effects. I'm not even gonna put the other passive on. Swap this with this one. Okay, we're at 83%. I just don't know why it's not overriding, but it should override. But yeah, if we just put cold res here, that should take care of it. What's our boots at? So our boots can also be upgraded to have like, let me just recraft all this. Alar boots. Go to like boots. Just do like energy shield, honestly, whatever. Is warlock boots the best? Whatever. Let's use warlock boots. We put like high life, high. Let's just do like mid roll. 30% is good. Let's do like 100, 70, 80%. That's fine. So we would just put cold res. High cold res. We put like. Oh yeah, we can't get dexterity here because it's a. It's an energy shield base. It's an int base. Put like chaos res. What else can we put here? Could put life regen, honestly. It's not bad. Sure. Let's just put like the most cracked version of the boots out there. What's the implicit we could add implicit? You could add maximum fire res here. That's kind of insane, no? Maybe just some cold res. Like a mid-tier cold res if we need. You put chaos res? You can put chaos res. Put like decent chaos res actually. Sure. What can we do for eater? Percent regen per endurance charge. Whatever. Cooldown, travel skills, pretty good. I think we just put cooldown recovery, travel skills. Yeah, like somewhere around like mid level or low level. So yeah, we would add something like this. It's like taking your fire res and lightning res, but it's just not calculating the melding. So I'm just gonna keep doing it. Yeah, let's do helmet next. What did I go with? Oh, like yeah, max life, like high max life. I guess increase energy shield is pretty good. Gonna add mana. Is flat energy shield better? I'm just gonna add mana. We would add like cold res, high as possible. Chaos res, high as possible. So I guess we would need to get like a energy. We could get more life regen. That could be kind of crazy. It's like about like 100. Influenced by searing and eater. So we could add cast speed. Cast speed is good. We'll just leave it like mid roll. Pretty sure you could add like, can't you add like resistance? Oh, I guess you can't. The mana regen per power charge is kind of like whatever. Oh, increase effect of arcane surge. That's probably like the best one. What does it currently have? Just flat to spell damage. I guess we need to increase like by 3%. Do we not have a single? Yeah, I guess we don't have like a single do we not have a single dual socket that we could play with? This will be melding. This will go to self-flagellation, which is pretty strong. Watcher side, which is pretty strong. Militant Fate, which is pretty strong. Is this worth? Like, is this actually worth? I honestly don't think this is worth. I think what I do is I drop Militant Fate and instead I add like a rare jewel. So like if we get a cobalt jewel, right? So what we could do with the cobalt jewel is, if I'm not mistaken, you could get max cold res on this. get crit multi. Something like that. You get one of like the totem damage, like cold damage or something like that. Add to the build. And then instead of using a Militant Fate, you just use this. Gives you relatively the same amount of damage. And we don't need to take this node. So it gives you another like passive point. Oh, our resistance goes down because that thing was giving us resistance. Wow. How about I put this for now? It's not even good enough. Maybe for these boots, instead of going chaos reds, I just go like chaos. Yeah, I just gotta remake these boots. Why is it just showing me like a random ass boots? Let's just put these again. They put cold res, chaos res. I'm just trying to make like melding work if it's possible. I don't know. Seeing if we can fit it into the build, like what it looks like. Say we put cold res here. We'll try to get like a high one. And we would do travel skill, travel. Okay, so now we have 85% all res, which it's not doing it, but it should. So I'm just gonna how do I do this? Like this is what it should be, but I don't know why it's not. Why melding is not working. So we would have like 46k EHP with 54k elemental hit, and on top of that, we would have 78% block. We actually have like too much block, but I don't think we could remove anything. Can I do this? Yeah, we need to get to 78. I think I thought about this. I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. I don't know. This is something I guess I have to. It works when I pull someone else's POB. It's not working when I do it. I wonder if it's like a config thing that it's doing it. It's just, yeah, it's a little weird right now. But this could be like an interesting variation of the build. I think I'm just gonna move on. This is like taking too long. But yeah, this could be like an interesting variation of the build, which is like extremely high spell block, and then you have melding at 85%, which is very strong. We could try to get even more. We could try to get more. We could, you know what we could do? We could also just slap on. If we go, uh, yeah. Let me just save this as melding spell block version. So we'll just save. There is something else we can do, which is this my? So this is my tanky version. How do you save as Phrecia Ice Spear Tank? Phrecia Ice Spear Tank. What we could do, this is like a tank version. Let me see what I could finesse here. So we got like 103 mil convert. So we dropped down to 49, which is kind of sad. We actually go down a little bit more actually. Do I have return project config? No, I don't. Oh, we actually need to get +1 power charge somehow. Oh, we don't really need this. Oh, we actually don't need +1 power charge because we're not utilizing all the curses. Yeah. Okay. So we're good. We didn't need to do that. We'll leave it like this for now. Oh, I didn't even put any of these on. Can I fit melding onto this build? I have no idea how I'd fit melding into this. I just don't think you fit melding. Dude, melding is actually kind of hard to fit into this build. I think it's just so much better to just... Oh, curse immune? Well, curse immune opens up... what's it called? Curse immune opens up the Watcher's Eye. So you don't need the Watcher's Eye. But like, what can you use? And then you're immune to shock as well. I feel like we try to build this in this league. We just try to go the tanky route and yeah, we try to build this. Combined with the good bloodline. There, actually, you are right. There is... I'm gonna hit save for now. There is actually something we could do, which is I don't know which version we would do it on, but let's convert this to 3.27. We could use, who is this guy again? I don't remember this. Is this Breach Lord or is this Ritual? I don't know who this guy is, but you could do Tool, Tool of the Blizzard, and then we could get Cryonic Rings. We could get 2 of them, and that could also increase our max res by 4%. 4% max res. That could be really strong, but we lose anathemas. But we wouldn't really need anathemas because we ignore elemental resistances anyways. And the main thing we were doing with anathemas was we were like reducing. Can I just see actually? How would I even configure this? Okay, so let's say enemy has 50 cold res. Enemy has 50 cold res, okay? And then we turn this off. So what was the DPS, sorry? Okay. We're doing 39 mil DPS with our curse setup. But now if we switch to this, oh, we actually have to put the rings on though. Hold on, give me a second. I could never find the ring. I don't know how to spell it. Is it like CY or something? I don't know why it doesn't show up in that. Yeah, it is cry. I just don't know why it doesn't show up. Can I just add it like this for now? Okay, yeah. For rule, for crit, ritual. I was thinking to use Pyroclast Mines with Polytheist. See, the thing about Pyroclast Mines does work. I personally just don't like how Pyroclast Mines feels. Like when I use Pyroclast Mines, I feel like this is absolutely the worst skill. um what if we use Frost Bomb instead here? You don't need to target since it's as Nova and you use automation for mapping. Yeah, I guess it's been like a little bit since I played it. I think it's been like, yeah, I think the last time I played it, automation wasn't in with the automation for detonating. Maybe I give it a shot again. But to me, Pyroclast Mines just didn't have the right feel. I think I'll definitely like try it this league though. I think I'll play like the totem build first, and then I'll see how it feels with the Pyroclast Mines. Because a lot of people on Polytheist are talking about it, and actually with change this back, but hold on. So this is 18 mil DPS. Also, this is wait. This is actually good. So this is. Why is Frostbite not calculating? Oh, hold on. Yeah, it's just better to go. Yeah, this. I don't think this is gonna work too well because the curse setup is just way better than trying to ignore monster cold resist. They buff the gem and it comes with exposure. Yeah, I think the gem itself is good. Like everything stats wise, like in my opinion, everything stat wise on Pyroclast is good. I just really don't like the feel of it. I would have to try with automation because last time I played, it didn't have automation support, so that you can like auto detonate mines, and that's why I didn't like it, or like, it wasn't there, so I didn't really have anything to compare it to. But now that automation detonate mines exists, maybe it's something to try. Because yeah, the damage on it is pretty good. Faru is pretty decent. But for the most part, we don't really like, pretty much the main. I don't know, maybe it could be good. The only real benefit we get from this is cast speed. Right, because the crit chance is good, but when we use Ice Spear, we're pretty much getting 100% crit chance. There's like, I'm not like PoB warrioring it, but there are a couple of configs, like, yeah, like if we enable this to be like 60% increase, like, okay, this gets it to like 90%. I think we could like move around some stuff to get 100% crit. I just don't think using another point just for crit like cast speed and maybe like a little bit of crit chance is worth. Let's go back to the alternate version. Yeah, actually, I think that like melding is a little too hard to use in this particular build. we could definitely use it, but we would have to trade off like damage somewhere. We do have like crazy amounts of resistance. Maybe I mean using Virides. So we're using Virides Veil to become like crit immune. We are what else? Oh yeah, that's actually another thing. Let me say this before I forget. For the block version, we are using like a focus amulet at the end game, but we wouldn't use minimum frenzy charge. So if we created like a focus amulet, if we create it, cold, what was it? It's like gem level, right? All skills, yeah. We would use like crit multi here. Like, I mean, we're getting a focus ammo. We should get like max roll, but like let's just say 35. What's the enchant that I'm using? Wood, stone, and steel. What is going on? Like, why is this focus amulet not plus oneing or going to +2? Okay, I don't know why it's not going. Maybe it's just not supported. I'm just gonna have to do it manually. I'll just put 70, whatever. You would technically do this because we already have minimum frenzy charges from our ascendancy. So there's no reason to get minimum frenzy charges on our build. Okay. We're not using Sublime Vision, yeah. So I guess like let me just save this. I don't know, what else am I like thinking of here? I feel like I guess like the biggest thing that I'm finding out is like melding is just really hard to utilize. Like melding just feels. Yeah, melding just feels like hard to utilize. We could, I mean, 22 million DPS with melding is pretty strong, but then we have to get curse immune, which is fine. Which is fine, honestly. It might be better. We have to do like a bunch of like shenanigans, basically. Can I do like a? I'm just gonna use this like melding. Can I do like a Aegis version? I just want to try like a Aegis version. So what we would do is, yeah, we would drop this. We would Aegis Aurora. Okay, can I type in Aegis Aurora? We go for Aegis. This doesn't really matter. Add to the build. We craft. Let's craft a wand real quick. Crystal. Oh, which wand gives us like percent? Opal wand? No. Bro, which one? Isn't there like a wand that just gets like 20%, 40% spell damage? Omen wand. Imbued wand. Okay, let's just use imbued wand. Create. We're gonna do cold +1, spell +1, so +1/+1, like crit multi. We'll just do like a mid roll. Crit spell crit. Spell crit's not bad. Isn't there like a? Honestly, I'm not gonna think about it too much. Just generic spell damage. I'll just put like a little bit of spell damage. Isn't there like cold damage? We could put generic cold damage. Yeah. Like, add to the build. This is gonna tank our DPS, which is fine. That's fine. Now we could put Aegis. Aegis takes our elemental hit to 80%. That's kind of crazy. Our block chance goes to poop. But then we wouldn't be using any of this stuff. We wouldn't be using any of this stuff. We would use this. We use this. I don't know if we would use any of that. I think we'd come down here, right? Savala is just so much better. uh, Trying to go block, yeah, so I'll just feel so much better. Spell block. Attack block. Elemental. Oh, it gives us +1 max res here. It's kind of good to know. Let me just look at block. How was I doing this previously? I think I was picking these nodes up. I don't know if I was picking these nodes up. Oh, I think I was like anointing this for like 10%. Then I was getting these block nodes. Hold on, let me go back here. Don't save. What was I doing in the block version? Is it just a Valen? Just like OP? What? Yeah, it's just because you only need to get to like 65 block or something like that, and then you get the lucky block and like. Let's go back. In 56, yeah. 6% chance to block. So it's just 32. I mean, this one's like a really scuffed. You could make it work, but you're spending so much on the wand itself. Oh, was I using this? I wasn't, but we could use this because this is 63. We have to get rid of like 8 points to make this work, though. We could, I guess. Oh, I guess we could get rid of this. We don't really need this. We can get rid of it's a lot of damage, but we could get rid of that. And 3 more points. I mean, we have like crazy amounts of. I really don't want to get rid of the recovery if I could save it. Is this even worth coming down here? Let's get my items. Cryonic ring +1. Because we don't technically have to use this ring. Well, I mean, because we're not using annihilating light, like we had so much more room. Oh wait, hold up. I'm also. Let me just get rid of these for a second. No, I mean it doesn't matter because it's all gonna go off of cold res. But I have like too much cold res. We could definitely get rid of a bunch of cold res, and then we could all these lightning ones. We could change these to like crit, reduce like crit. It's wrong, Rongo Kurai. It's reduced damage taken from crit. Yeah. I mean, if we're using melding, we don't need lightning. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could go more. 9 for sure. 10. There you go. 50% reduced crit. How do we get rid of 3 more points? These travel nodes are like super annoying. We could also get rid of this. We don't need this. We could also do this. We could get rid of this. How much do we lose off of this? How much EHP do we lose? 5.5%. That's fine. Get rid of that. Can we? Yeah, let's get rid of that. There we go. 122. Well, actually, we don't need to help Alira here. Because, yeah, we don't need to help Alira. Because we don't need the extra resistance when we're doing like melding. This could be an interesting setup. This was like, yeah, we get like only somewhere around like 10 mil DPS. We get like somewhere around 10 mil DPS. So our DPS goes down quite a bit. But our tank definitely goes up. Like this thing's not like calculating properly. Because like melding, I don't know why my melding is just not working. But we could get some crazy, not crazy, but we get like decent amount of EHP. I think the best version of this build is potentially like spell block version, like 30 mil DPS, 78% spell block. It's pretty good. Your EHP is like 30k. You go to Meldon Ages. I guess you get like double your EHP, but you lose like 66% of your damage. Tinky version is alright. What happened to, oh yeah, Ice Spear Phrecia. So Ice Spear Phrecia, I would say like the endgame version, this is like pretty solid as well. You know, you're getting a ton of DPS here. You're not getting that much block. This one is like pure damage setup that you can go for. This is like more of the glass cannon approach, right? Like, so you have like 10k EHP, not that, not that, not that tanky. But if you do want to like boss, etc., like 132 mil DPS is pretty crazy. So yeah, I think those are gonna be all the iterations that I am thinking of. I think the most attractive one, in my opinion, is this, the spell block version. You're getting about 28 mil DPS, which is pretty good. We could just remove this to go over here. So it's like 22 mil DPS instead of using a focus amulet. This is like +1 +1 35, so it's not actually doubling the stats, right? But because when I created it in PoB, I didn't realize that PoB doesn't recognize the 100% increase. So I created two versions. One is just like a regular amulet. It's just called focus. Yeah, I think these are my different versions of the build that I am looking at. I'm going to try to put all of this into what's it called, a video today. The tank version is actually not too bad either. You're getting like progenesis. You're just like 90% block, so like block is doing all the heavy lifting here. If like a phase hit goes through, then you're pretty much gonna get blown up. But overall, this is still good. I played this version. It's not bad actually. You could do like T17s like very cleanly. I think the version to build is just the spell block version. But yeah, I think that's... Is there anything else to talk about? There is. We could talk about like idols and like idol strategies and whatnot. Um and I think I'm gonna do that like next live stream. So tomorrow I'll talk about like different idol strategies that I have. I showed it a little bit last stream with some of the things I was planning. But we didn't get a patch for the idols, and I don't know when we're gonna get those, but you know, we'll try to like plan something off of that. But yeah, for now, these are gonna be the version. Actually, let me post the links. Since you guys are in stream, you guys could have POB links. Copy. So it's gonna be POB progressions. Actually, oh wait, I can't. There we go. POB like progression version. So it's gonna be like the progression version. I need to see if it shows the Phrecia ascendancy stuff. So let me know if that actually works. This is the base one. And then the other one, spell block one. I like the spell block one. This is what I used to do 40-40 challenges in last league. So it's very capable of doing T17s, etc. Because of the spell block. Sometimes, like if your block fails, you do die if it's like a fizz hit or like a big Ellie hit. So that's something we can take a look at. But overall, like, this is pretty good. Yeah, so TLDR, I think Yugal is gonna be like our third ascendancy. Being curse immune, we don't have to get a sublime vision. Saves us a lot. So we could thank GGG for that one. And Garukan most likely will be like the default one because we can't really go too many places, right? Aberoth is kind of trash. This does nothing. This bricks our build. So Garukan is going to be our default number 4. It's just nice quality of life. Overall, we're going to have less totems. You could try to get Forbidden Flame, Forbidden Flesh, and it does give you more damage from Hierophant, from like the base class, but I don't think it's worth the hassle to like look for it. Like if it's like, I don't know how expensive it's gonna be. If it's not expensive, then it's worth it. But if it is expensive, it's not worth it. Melding TLDR is very strong, but I don't know if it's worth. That's like the big question with a lot of this stuff. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm like thinking, anything else? I need to have like a better way to like close the stream because I start like thinking about different stuff and I just kind of keep going in that direction. I also don't have anything like flash check marked. I don't have any of these turned on, like focus, you know. I think everything else is being calculated properly though. Okay, just wanted to see if this worked. And then we'll see about the tattoos. Like currently I have lightning res tattoos, which I need for this version of the build, but you know, you might have to like change the tattoos and whatnot. That's like, yeah, it's like, it's a little random. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna be able to like look at this forever, but let's just end the stream. I posted the links for the 2 POBs that I think are gonna be the way to play this build. The first is a progression. You know, you go through the progression from early game to mapping to end game, and then this will be a alternative version, which is, you know, you just have like a high block chance, and this makes things even smoother. When then we could do like a whole bunch of other iterations where if we want, we could go like boss damage, we could go tank version, things like that, which most likely I think it'll be better if I do like a build update, like like a, you know, etc. The other benefit of this build is like super cheap. Like nobody really looks at this build, right? Like no, even though like I made like multiple videos, people really aren't like pushing this build that much, so everything's gonna be super cheap. Um, like here, the only expensive item is the focus amulet. So if you just drop that, and you could spend like 3-4 divines, maybe like 5 to 10 divines, and just get like a regular +1/+1. You don't even have to get that. There's probably like things that are comparable with just +1 cast speed, crit multi. All the flasks are expensive, but I don't even have them enabled, right? So it's like if you enable them, you get like double damage, or like you get like 50% more damage if you get the expensive flask. The jewel is expensive. Watcher's Eye can be expensive. It just depends what people want and don't want. And then everything else is kind of super cheap. So yeah, so we'll try to play this build for Phrecia and start blasting. We have a lot of quality of life from the new Ascendancy nodes. Makes our life easier. We don't need to get Sublime Vision, which usually goes anywhere from 2 divines to like 50 divines, depending on which build is popular. So we don't have to worry about that. So it's even cheaper. And yeah, I think we'll end it there. You know, give me time to think about more stuff before I make the video to compact all this information instead of me like kind of rambling on. So take care, guys. I will see you tomorrow. I'll stream again and we'll go over the idols. Hopefully there's patch notes on the idols. Otherwise, we'll just go over the idols ourselves. Peace, peace, peace.